Okay, my friends, this card landed a little too close to home for me this week. I am not kidding. It was a rough one. So, I will tell you that I always pull these cards at the beginning of the month, and then typically I record them pretty close to the beginning of the month so that I have them ready to launch and release as the weeks go by. Sometimes though, I just can't, like, it's just not coming to me. It's not landing quite right for me just yet. And so I don't record it immediately. And this week, the card for this week, last week I had all the time in the world. Like I could have gotten it done, but for some reason I didn't. And so um, I sat on it for a little while because I thought it'll come to me. Like the card makes sense. The reason that I need to talk about this card will come. And then often that happens when I am meeting with clients, when I am talking with coworkers, with friends and family. Something about it will then resonate and it lands and I figure out what it was I was supposed to share. So this week, like last weekend, I had a fabulous weekend. I spent some time on a women's wellness weekend with some dear friends, and I loved it so much. Thought that I was going to move into the week and just have that energy and that vibe continue to carry me through and to feel really good. And instead, what happened is the very first day back into the week, we had some issues. My husband had some health issues that really were pretty significant. And what I will say is that watching your partner be life flighted away from you is not an experience that I wish on any one of you. It is really, really just an awful experience. Sorry. He's actually really good now. So it was a really hard week. It was, several challenges up and down throughout the week and ended up being super great. And he's good and he's home and he's back to work. At least he's going back to work. And so all of that to say, like, it was just a rough experience and it led me into exactly where this card needed us to go. And so again, the deck that I'm using is Angelic Lightwork by Elena Fairchild. And the card itself is like it lands every time, people. There are no coincidences here. It lands every time. And so the card is Soothing Mind and Spirit. Look how cool this card is. It's so powerful. Look at the outlines and the waves. Like when I look at this card, I just see the power behind it. Um, and then there are a couple of notes. So often when you have an Oracle deck, there's some sort of book that comes with it that explains in a little bit more depth what that card is. And so there are two sentences in here specifically that I wanted to read to you because they just land so hard. So the first one is acknowledging that you are deserving of love, attention, consistency, respect, and care is a way to soothe the tiring violence of mind and spirit that can wear out the heart. Let's think about that for a minute. You are deserving of love, attention, consistency, respect, and care. So many people of the women that are in my life. So whether these are clients, they are coworkers, they are just friends and family, men and women, not just one or the other. So many of the people that I am currently working with are dealing with trauma, and it is trauma that is either their own personal physical trauma, it is emotional trauma, it might be trauma that is somebody close to them that is impacting them, and it is even past lives traumas, believe it or not. I know that's a little stretch for some of you, but it is a thing and it is there. And so that is a thing that I've been spending a lot of my time talking about and figuring out how do we work through. And I am here to tell you that if you want to be good, if you want to feel good, if you want to feel better, if you want to be your best, you have to resolve this trauma, no matter what it is. So you have to work on healing yourself. So what I'm going to ask you to do this week is to spend some time thinking about what those traumas are for you. You're not going to fix them all at once. It's not just going to happen magically because you figured out what it is. But I want you to think about what are those traumas so that you can then start to work on them. And then I want you to think about how do you start to move through them? how do you start working on healing them, and how do you start working on releasing them? That is not going to be an easy thing for you to do, and this is not like a quick one and done. So sometimes this might look like talk therapy. If you've been around me, if you've spent some time with me, talk therapy is a thing. Like, it is helpful. It is something that can benefit a lot of people. I've done it. I've had some really good successes from it. So I'm not by any means telling you with the next thing that I'm going to say not to do that, because talk therapy is a positive. But there might also be, we might get a guest here. Poppy's going to come in. We might also need to look at a hippie woo sort of therapy, where we're looking at something a little bit more. Come on, something a little bit more. Say hello. Here she is. Something a little bit more, like I said, hippie woo. So that might be something like Reiki or Qigong or hypnotherapy, or some sort of modality along those lines. You name it. It is whatever works for you. It is the thing that is going to land for you, that's going to resonate with you. Maybe she loves to be around when I'm talking to people. So maybe you just need to look at breathing and moving and journaling. Maybe that is a powerful combination of things. So maybe that is what you need to do, so that you can just start to work through and resolve some of these things. But what I'm asking you to do is give yourself the time and the space to do that. I said to you earlier, this is not an easy one and done. You have to give yourself the time and the space in order to grow through it, because that is what you're doing. You're releasing it, you're healing, and you are growing through it. It makes you a different person. And then the second sentence that I wanted to read to you, no coincidences, my friends. So the second sentence is that love can flourish best and in so many ways when it is nurtured within your relationship with yourself. This isn't about relationships with everyone else. It's not about how other people treated you, what other people did to you. This is about you. This is about taking care of you, because, as Katie Reed says it best, self-care is about giving the world the best of you, not the rest of you. That is what we are doing. We are taking care of ourselves so that we can then serve those that we love in the world around us a little bit better. So that brings me to just the perfect spot, right? What a transition. This week, so I've been teasing you that I am working on a workshop that I am very excited about. And so this week I'm going to be releasing Redefining Radiance, and it is a self-paced self-care workshop. It comes with a workbook, a series of videos by yours truly, and then it has a meditation that I have recorded for you, so that when you purchase this workshop, and it is only $44, it is a place for you to start, so that you can figure out how to navigate taking care of yourself. This is not going to be the thing that releases all of your trauma. So be clear, like, I'm not saying that you take these traumas and you go through this workshop and that's the release of them. That's not what's happening there. But it's a place to start if that's where you're at, or if it's not necessarily even that, but just you're struggling with some things and you're trying to figure out how to take care of yourself a little bit better. This is where you go for that. So, like I said, this is about how you take care of yourself so that you can then be better for the rest of the world and the people that you care about. So go to my website, sign up for my email list. That is www.drtanyab.com. And so if you sign up for the email, you'll figure out, or I'll be sharing exactly when the workshop launches and releases, or you can go to programs and just purchase it there. If you purchase it before it launches, you get a free strategy call with me. So who doesn't, who wouldn't love that? All right. So love and light, my friends. If you lean into this, it's not going to be the easiest of weeks for you, but I promise it will pay off. I love you. I want you to have a fabulous week, and I want you to take care of yourself. Have a great week.